All right, first impression?
I liked it.
Yeah, it's
It was
really,
really
good.
good.
It's a really good movie.
I liked it better than The Godfather.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it is a fucking...
Well, I don't know. Which one's the one? The second one is really good.
Yeah.
But it kind of like got me at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then somewhere in the middle, it was just there was a lot going on all the time.
Yep.
A bunch of little things happened that they kept on like killing more important people.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're involved with drugs. I'm like, oh my gosh, how much can they do before they're finally going to get busted? Because I kept on thinking they were going to get busted. And I was like, dang, how long have we been watching this movie before?
Yeah. They don't get caught to the very end. And the movie does such a good job of selling you the dream of the gangster lifestyle. The kid looks up to him. And even though you're seeing all this, death and crime and it's not good, as the movie goes on up until like pretty far into the movie, you're like with it because you see him, getting successful, getting money, giving money away, all the nice things. You see everybody loves him, and that gets built up.
Yeah. Well, like you said, even from the get, it's kind of like, even though he's doing all these like bad things, he still like has a family because he's not with his dad beats him and stuff. Right. And then Paulie like will tap him on the face as like a loving type of thing. Like, so there was at one point after he got popped for the first time and everybody's like, oh, and I was like, aw, I love this. I feel very conflicted. But you know what? I mean, just going to the overall feel, I don't know if I just have to like watch it all over again, but it was I guess Wolf of Wall Street is very much like Goodfellas. Yeah,
because Scorsese sells this and shows you the criminal mindset and the criminal view of what they're doing. It's fun. It's energetic. They're getting away with it. They're making it happen.
Yeah. You start to root for like the bad behavior because you also like kind of like you're on this journey with this anti-hero protagonist.
And it's like you want to be. There's no.
Well, I mean, there's some things, I guess, as you go further along in the movie, there's
it's more like
nothing.
A tragedy.
Yeah. And that's a trope of tragedy is the hero doing a full 180.
Yeah. Because he's a good kid and you can tell that he has a good heart and he doesn't realize the crime that he's doing. Like the description of the movie said that he's unaware of the horrors that he's doing, but I'm not sure if that's 100% true. He's able to brush it over because as the movie goes on, he'll, when somebody gets killed and he sees it, he's kind of like, what the fuck? Like, he's like, whoa, like that's a lot. But then he just goes with it. So you can see he still has that kind of a good heart, innocent heart, but he's caught up in this dream of being the man.
Yeah. I mean, I would say all of them throughout the movie at the beginning, their limits were very much, they got fewer and farther between that they'd be like, oh, even Robert De Niro's character. Like when Tommy shot that young kid
in the foot
and he was mad about it.
Yeah.
And then he just, by the end of the movie, is doing the same thing as Tommy, just shooting people for no reason.
But if you notice, though, when Robert De Niro is mad at him, he's not mad at him for killing him. He's like, you fucking go bury the body. I'm not burying the body. You go bury the body.
Yeah, that is true.
It's kind of like it's a chore. They're talking about having to do the cleanup like you just spilt or broke something. It's like, why'd you do that? Like, you're going to go fucking bury the body. I'm not going to bury the body.
Yeah.
It's not like it's this guy just died. The only person that recognized that he's died was the main character, Ray Liotta's character.
Yeah.
What's his name? We literally just watched the movie.
I know,
but
Henry.
Henry, yeah. Obviously.
Yeah.
Henry, come on.
Yeah.
Henry's the only one that said he's dead. Shocked that he just killed that guy for no reason.
Yeah. Fuck Joe Pesci.
Yeah, that guy's wild.
He was wild. Even like, Joe Pesci could never look under like 45 to me.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure they were supposed to be playing 20-year-olds and I was like, whenever she said 21 and I was like, what?
I think just Henry was 21.
Yeah, but
Joe Pesci was a little older.
No,
the whole
because
time.
When they got into it together, they were both young kids, were they not? And then they grew up in it together?
Yeah, but I think
Joe Pesci might have been like a couple years older, but a couple years older than Ray Liotta whenever he was supposed to be 21 is what, 23? He looked like he was 80 in a wig.
Well, De Niro is 40-something in this movie.
Yeah, well, De Niro was always older than the kid. When the kid was played by the young actor, De Niro was still De Niro, you know? But the young actors switched, and it was Joe Pesci and Ray Liotta.
Mm.
And I remember when they switched, I was like, who put him in the worst wig ever, man? Like, he looked like, you know, in The Office, when Creed, like, dyes his hair black.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a hothead.
Yeah. I mean, and you want to root for him. I think part of it too. Oh, I was going to say this about them looking old. That may be on purpose because they look so haggard and like in their 30s. But you, at the first part of the movie, you see them doing all this stuff as young kids. Maybe it's to show that like they grew up very early. And so they have this like distressed look to them just because they've seen a lot in their like younger lives. You know?
I mean, they have been through a lot and they're stressed out and they're probably not taking good care of themselves. You know, they're roughneck people.
In what way, taking care of themselves?
Like, I guess I'm thinking really of Henry doing drugs.
Yeah, because he did start with pills. Like, even before he got into the cocaine, he was popping pills all the time.
Yeah. But, so, talking about the lifestyle and them selling it in the beginning where it looks all flashy and stuff, probably the coolest scene in the whole entire movie, the coolest shot in the entire movie is that one take throughout the restaurant when he takes his girl, you know, on a first date to the bar or whatever it was. He's a big guy, and that long shot showing you him knowing everybody, you get to see how extravagant it is because they sold you the dream. You can see why it's cool. You know, Ray Liotta talking about how badass it is to be a gangster, seeing all the perks that come with it. And then that one long shot, you know, it almost puts you in he drags you along through his life. He's like, this is what it's like for me all the time. See, it's pretty badass. I'm a rock star. So that long take as he's going to the kitchen and everything else, it just hits perfectly because Scorsese's already showed you why he's loving being a gangster and then takes you through it in his own, like with this perspective. You know, he leads you along into the kitchen and into the restaurant. And they put a table there, front stage, sit there, and you know, she's awestruck by the stardom he has. Yeah.
Well, and then it comes full circle because he doesn't kind of address or break the fourth wall like that until the end. And then that's like the end of him like looking at the camera when he's in witness protection.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy how he showed that. And that's where you could tell, I feel like you could tell it's based off of a book just because of, one, the narration. That also kind of reminded me of Wolf of Wall Street. Doesn't he do that?
Yeah. Wolf of Wall Street is also based on a book.
Exactly. Yeah. So it kind of like is you're following this one character. And like you said, it is a tragedy because you're watching a hero like totally like, you know, fall downhill.
Yeah. Yeah, you do see him fall downhill because I keep saying it, but the beginning is them selling that dream of the gangster, and you watch how it might be sexy up front, but as you dig into it, it just corrupts you and destroys your life.
Yeah.
Because everything falls apart. People start dying. You realize the betrayal there is. You know, Joe Pesci's character was willing to do anything, you know, for the mob. Like he's becoming a made man. He was excited, and then they whack him after all the years. Henry, after all the years, like he said, of him helping them out, committing crimes, you know, being involved in that process, he feels like he's a family because his home life was shitty. So these gangsters are his family now. Like that, you can tell that's why he's so bought into this system too, because his home life sucked. School was boring, but the flashy life was nice. You know, he gets caught selling drugs. What's the main boss? Paulie only gives him $3,200 and says, you know, sorry. Because it's a business to them because he's not a made man, yet he believes he is. That's his only family, yet you really you really realize how dark and how, you know, the mafia family seems like they love you and it's a very family-oriented thing, but in reality, it's just a business and you can get cut off immediately.
Well, and blood.
Blood's important.
Yeah.